If you're still living like this, you're going to lose your entire life to someone else's hands without even realizing it. Sounds dramatic, but pause for a moment and be honest with yourself just this once. Have you ever asked yourself why you still haven't received what you truly desire? You've studied, you've been persistent, you've prayed, you've tried everything, yet what you deeply want still hasn't arrived. And then you blame yourself. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I lack luck or money or time. No, don't let those excuses deceive you for another second. You're not useless. You're just playing a game. And no one ever taught you the rules. And that game is called life. This world isn't just physical. It's a living energy system, operating by laws, frequencies, and invisible codes. If you don't know the rules, you'll stay trapped in a loop no matter how hard you try. But if you know, you can change everything: your finances, your health, your emotions, even the path of your destiny. The problem is, no one ever taught you, because these secrets aren't written in school textbooks. They've only been passed down among the elite, those quietly building empires, controlling wealth, healing, and leading the world. They don't write books, they don't live stream. The truly wealthy understand this, but never say it out loud. And today, you're standing before the door to that realm of knowledge. The entrance is free, but the value inside could change the entire rest of your life. If you find this meaningful, just one simple subscription is all it takes for YouTube to understand that this is a message worth spreading to those who truly need it. Now, let's come back. You've lived long enough within the limits others placed on you. Now is the time to reclaim the power to lead your own life. But to do that, you have to face the truth. This is not some empty motivational video. It doesn't promise quick riches. It doesn't comfort you with pretty words. It's here to reawaken an ancient memory within you, and that memory carries an undeniable principle. Everything you want already exists, but it only appears when you vibrationally align with it. This is not a line I made up to sound clever. This is a foundational law of the universe, confirmed by quantum physics, by ancient spiritual traditions, and by the deepest spiritual masters in the world. All of them, from east to west, from past to present, say the same thing. All external change begins with the energy within you. Take a look at yourself. You're not being greedy when you wish for a stable financial life, without having to struggle every month. A deep relationship, free from jealousy or betrayal, a sense of freedom to be yourself, no pressure, no pretending. A peaceful night's sleep, no longer tormented by worry. A healthy body, full of energy and joy for living. You deserve all of that, not because you're perfect, but because you are an essential part of the universe, and you have the right to live fully. So what does this video actually help you do? It gives you back your power. It helps you clearly see the sickness in your life and shows you how to heal it. And if you apply it, it can turn any desire into reality, as long as you truly want it, not through willpower, but through the right energy, through a vibrational state that aligns with what you want to call in. You don't need to do too much. You just need to tune in to the right frequency. But I need to give you a warning. What you're about to hear might completely contradict everything you've ever believed to be true. You may feel confused, you may resist, but if you're brave enough to set aside your doubts, a completely new version of you, full, whole, and deeply aligned, is waiting on the other side of that door. If you're ready, come deeper with me into the next part, where you'll begin to see the world is not what you thought it was, and the truth will bend your entire perception of reality. You used to think you were living in a material world, a world full of solid, tangible things, the table you're sitting at, the house you live in, the people you meet, the bank account you check every morning. Everything seemed so real, so solid. But if you ever studied chemistry in school, you might remember everything in this world is made up of molecules. Inside molecules are atoms, and inside atoms are even smaller particles, electrons, protons, and neutrons. Sounds dry and technical, but let's look a little deeper. When you magnify the image of an atom under an electron microscope, what do you see? Not a solid mass, but particles spinning around each other in a space that is almost completely empty. That's right, nearly 100% of the atom's volume is empty space. Matter, as it turns out, is simply energy vibrating at a low enough frequency that your eyes can perceive it. Albert Einstein put it clearly, matter is energy vibrating at a frequency low enough to be visible. Nikola Tesla, the genius far ahead of his time, declared, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Your body, you, are no exception. You are a highly sophisticated energy system made up of billions of cells, each one sending signals, vibrating, interacting with one another and with the world around you. Your heart doesn't just beat, it emits frequency. Your brain doesn't just think, it generates electrical waves. Your emotions aren't just internal moods, they are real vibrations measurable by electromagnetic waves. Now look again at the table in front of you. Through the eyes of science, it's not a solid wooden block. It's a cluster of billions of vibrating atoms. The only difference is, its vibrational frequency is slower than that of your body, so you can't pass through it. But in essence, it is energy too. The Earth you're living on is also a vibrant living energy being. Scientists call it the heartbeat of the Earth, the Schumann resonance, a frequency of approximately 7.83 Hertz that the planet emits constantly. And here's the fascinating part. This frequency is the same as alpha brainwaves in humans, the state you enter when you're meditating or feeling truly at peace. In other words, you and the Earth are communicating through energy. Since ancient times, humans have always paid attention to the flow of energy and sought ways to attract the most positive energy to their lands and nations. Have you ever heard of the Egyptian pyramids, Angkor Wat, or ancient structures with towering spires reaching toward the sky? These buildings are not just cultural symbols, they are vibrational architecture designed to connect with cosmic energy, to attract and amplify sacred energetic flows, and to transform that energy into blessings for the people who live around them. That is not superstition, that is ancient intelligence, which modern science is only beginning to verify piece by piece. If you've never paid attention to the role of energy in your life until now, this is your moment to shift your perspective. So if your body is energy, the table is energy, the earth is energy, what does that actually mean? How does that help you? The truth is, everything, even the things you once believed were non-energy, like money, health, and relationships, are all energy too. Sounds strange? That's because you were taught that money is paper, or a number in the bank, something you have to work really hard for, hold on to tightly, and save every penny. You were conditioned to believe that only through hard work, sacrifice, and saving could money come to you. But if you remove that old belief and look through the lens of science, you will see that money is physical matter. It's printed on paper. Paper is made of molecules. Molecules are made of atoms, and atoms are energy, which means you and money, at your core, are made from the same source. And if everything is energy, do you know what that really means? It means everything you're seeking, money, health, happiness, love, is energy already present in the informational field of the universe. These things don't come from outside of you, they come from the frequency you're tuned into. The resources to create what you want are never lacking. There is no shortage in this universe. There's only one thing that determines whether or not you can access them: the frequency you're broadcasting. Because if all is energy, then the raw material for anything you desire is already abundantly available. So what creates the difference between one person and another? Between someone who attracts wealth, health, and love, and someone who stays stuck in a loop? The next part will reveal a clear perspective. What is the true key that separates everything in existence? Every difference in life comes from frequency. Frequency is the rate of energy vibration that you emit from within. It's not an abstract or mystical concept. It's a real, measurable scientific value detectable through biofeedback devices. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every word you speak carries a specific vibration, and it's constantly influencing the world you live in. Dr. David R. Hawkins, a renowned psychiatrist, spent decades studying and developing the map of human consciousness, which measures the frequency of different emotional states and belief patterns. The results were astonishing. Negative emotions such as guilt, shame, sadness, anxiety all vibrate below 150, very low frequencies, specifically shame, 20 hertz, guilt, 30 hertz, fear, 150, jari, anger, 150, which is, in contrast, positive states like enthusiasm, joy, peace, and love vibrate at much higher levels. Unconditional love, 500 hertz, joy, 540 hertz, inner peace, 600 hertz and above. Hawkins also identified 200 hertz, the level of courage, as the turning point for transformation. Below 200 hertz, people are dominated by fear, blame, unconscious behavior, and a victim mindset. From 200 hertz and above, consciousness begins to expand, and a person starts to take command of their reality. A healthy human body vibrates between 62 and 70 hertz. If this frequency drops to 58 hertz, the common cold may begin. At 42 hertz, cancer cells may begin to develop. As the frequency continues to drop, the immune system becomes severely compromised, and the body's natural healing ability nearly disappears. What about the objects around you? They are energy too. That table you're sitting at may seem solid, but in reality, it's vibrating at a very low frequency, around 20 to 30 hertz. You can't put your hand through it, not because it's truly solid, but because it's vibrating too slowly for your eyes to perceive its motion. Now, if you're living in an inner state of anxiety, lack, or anger, in that moment you're emitting a vibration in the 100 and 150 hertz range. And what happens then? You attract experiences that match that same vibration. You synchronize with the energy of negative people and situations. It's like watching television on channel 3.1. You'll never see what's playing on channel 9.5, even if it's broadcasting right now, because the frequency you choose determines what you receive. This is also why so many people say they work really hard, they give it their all, they map out dozens of plans, yet their life never seems to change. It's not because they lack skills, it's because their inner frequency hasn't changed. And if your inner frequency stays the same, your external reality can't shift. You can't be tuned into the frequency of lack and expect to receive the signal from the channel of abundance. The frequency of prosperity is completely different from the frequency of anxiety. The frequency of someone who gives with trust is not the same as someone who does everything out of fear of losing. A famous study by Dr. Masaru Emoto clearly proved this. He discovered that water can respond to the emotional energy of human beings. When words like "I love you" or "thank you" were spoken near water samples, the water crystals formed into beautiful symmetrical shapes, like snowflakes. In contrast, when exposed to negative phrases like "I hate you" or "you disgust me," the crystals became ugly, broken, and chaotic. And here's the key. The human body is made up of more than 70% water, which means every thought, word, and emotion you emit is literally reprogramming the structure of the water and the biological structure inside your body. And it doesn't stop with water. Emoto later conducted the same experiments on food, rice, and plants, and the results were the same. A bowl of rice that was spoken to with love remained fresh, while the bowl that was insulted turned rotten, foul-smelling, and moldy within days. Scientists also discovered that strong negative emotions like anger can alter the chemical composition of a mother's breast milk. In some cases, the milk was found to contain mild toxins that could cause fevers, digestive issues, or even weaken a baby's immune system. So yes, emotional frequency truly affects material quality, not in a spiritual sense, but in a biological one. Now you can clearly see, you don't need to push harder to do something different. You just need to start vibrating differently. Instead of asking, how many more hours should I work to earn more income? Start with a better question. What frequency do I need to vibrate at to experience abundance and sufficiency? And if you truly understand this, you'll arrive at an even more powerful truth. So tell me, what really determines your destiny? Not your parents, not your education, not the country you were born in, but the frequency you broadcast. Every single day, you are a broadcast station capable of creating anything. You're not a passenger sitting in the back seat of your life. You are the one driving. 90% of people will click off at this point because they're not ready. But if you're still here, you are not like most. You're the kind of person who dares to look at the truth, and I deeply respect that. So ask yourself, what do you really want? A booming career, a dream home, freedom of time, money, and emotion? A life that makes you wake up every morning with passion and purpose? All of that can become reality. All of that already exists, but it's playing on a different frequency. If you don't have it yet, it's time to tune your inner vibration. Your frequency is the result of three combined forces: the thoughts you repeat, the emotions you maintain, the actions and words you express every day. If you change just those three, your frequency will shift. Eastern philosophy has known this for thousands of years. Lao Tzu once wrote, "Thoughts lead to words, words lead to actions, actions become habits, habits shape character, character becomes destiny." This is a closed loop of energy showing how even a single thought can become the fate of an entire lifetime. It all begins with thought. When you repeat a thought, it creates a vibration. That vibration slowly turns into emotion. That emotion leads to action. Repeated action becomes habit. Habit shapes character, and eventually it defines what you receive in life. No external result ever happens randomly. Everything starts from within. Buddhism teaches the same thing. The mind leads, the mind creates, the mind shapes all experiences. Nothing comes to you without first passing through the vibrational field of your consciousness. Every emotion you emit carries a frequency, combined with an electrical impulse from the brain and a magnetic wave from the heart. Together they create a vibrational code, the personal frequency you're broadcasting to the world. And here's the thing. You're broadcasting it 24/7, even when you say nothing at all. So, when you complain, you're sending out the frequency of lack. When you doubt, you emit the frequency of separation. When you're angry, you're radiating the frequency of destruction. All of those fall below 200 hertz. You cannot stay in a low vibration and produce high-level outcomes. And the opposite is also true. Raise your vibration, and everything you desire will begin to appear. You can't plant lemon seeds and expect to harvest oranges. Even if they look similar on the outside, their inner code, their frequency is entirely different. So instead of running around out there trying to find solutions, take time to come back inward. If you're still listening at this point, this is the most important part. Congratulations, you've stepped into an energetic space that very few dare to reach. I'm going to give you a step-by-step formula, clear and practical, to help you reclaim mastery over your vibration. This formula includes 4 steps. Write them down and make sure you practice them. Step 1. Identify your current vibration. Diagnose yourself. Before healing can begin, you need to diagnose. You need to know exactly where you are. Slow things down for a moment. Where are you feeling out of alignment? Emotionally, are you living in a state of anxiety, disappointment, or emotional vulnerability, even though on the outside you keep smiling like nothing's wrong? Or are you beginning to feel peaceful, grounded, and clear enough to respond instead of react? Financially, do you feel like you're always scrambling with money, trying hard but never quite getting ahead? Or are you starting to attract new opportunities, ones that feel lighter, more aligned, and more easeful? In relationships, do you often find yourself surrounded by people who hurt you, take advantage of you, or constantly misunderstand you? Or are you now building clear, healthy connections where you're free to be fully yourself? Physically, do you feel constantly tired, stuck in a cycle of recurring minor illnesses, or mentally drained? Or are you starting to sense your body's natural ability to recalibrate, heal, and feel increasingly full of life? In purpose, do you feel like you're living out someone else's expectations, chasing things labeled as right by others? Or are you slowly discovering what truly makes your heart come alive? Take at least 15 minutes, write down everything you feel, either on paper or in the notes on your phone. Separate it into categories: emotion, finances, relationships, health, purpose. Then ask yourself, which area needs healing most urgently? Which one is causing you the deepest pain? Which one is impacting the overall quality of your life? Because you can't heal everything all at once. If you try to hold it all at the same time, you'll end up overwhelmed. It's like a bundle of chopsticks. When held tightly together, you can't break them. But when you take them one by one, you can gently shift each one with ease. Wherever it hurts, that's where energy is stuck. And where energy is stuck, that's exactly where your healing can begin. Step 2. Take 100% responsibility. Reclaim the power to create your life. Once you've identified your current vibration, now it's time to take one of the most powerful transformational steps, the step most people on this planet completely overlook. Taking 100% responsibility for everything you're experiencing. It sounds simple, but the truth is this: if you can't fully do this one thing, then no technique, no advice, no motivational video will ever work for long. Why? Because if you're still blaming, even just a little, your circumstances, other people, bad luck, your childhood, or the economy, you're still unconsciously handing over control of your life to someone else. And the vibration you emit in that moment? Victimhood. Powerlessness. There's nothing I can do. But when you truly accept one profound truth, everything I'm living right now comes from within me, from the frequency, emotions, and beliefs I emit every single day. That's the moment you reclaim your full power. You are not poor because you don't have a stable job. You are poor because deep inside, you are vibrating with the belief in scarcity. You wake up every morning afraid you might lose your job. You're anxious about paying the bills. You don't believe you are worthy of abundance. And those repetitive thoughts have created a specific vibration. That vibration is what's pulling in the results you see in your life. So don't say you're broke because your job sucks, no one supports you, or you were born into a poor family. All of that is just a mirror reflecting your frequency. And the moment you take full responsibility, everything begins to shift. Today, I invite you to say one simple but powerful declaration. Take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and say it slowly. I know that everything happening in my life is because of me. I take 100% responsibility for my life. I am grateful because I now understand everything comes from the power within me. Save this sentence. Repeat it whenever you feel lost, weak, tempted to blame, or ready to give up. It will recalibrate your vibration instantly. According to research by Dr. David R. Hawkins, the frequency of acceptance and personal responsibility is 200 hertz. This is the pivot point, the shift that allows you to move out of negative vibrations like fear, anger, guilt, blame, and step into neutrality, stability, and real potential for transformation. This is the solid foundation from which you can now begin to rise into higher frequencies. No one else can do this for you. This is the part most people skip because their ego doesn't want to hear it. Most people quit the moment they hear the words, "Take responsibility." But if you're still here, you belong to a rare group on this planet, those who are truly ready to own their destiny. Step 3. Set a clear goal and rebuild the belief you need in the simplest way possible. If you know exactly what you want and you deeply desire it, the entire universe will move to help you receive it. In the world of energy, there is no such thing as lack. Never. Money, opportunities, abundance, they don't just run out. Neville Goddard once said, "Nothing comes from outside, everything begins within." I'm going to give you a mantra, and if you actually practice it, money, love, health, or anything else you desire will begin flowing toward you endlessly. The mantra is simple but incredibly powerful. It goes like this: I believe I can do it as soon as possible. For example, if your name is Leon and your biggest pain right now is about money, and you set a goal to earn $100,000 per month, your mantra would be, I am Leon. I believe I will earn at least $100,000 per month. I believe I can do it as soon as possible. You can replace the name and the financial goal, whether that's $10,000, $100,000, or $1 million, the number doesn't matter. What matters is how many times you repeat it every day. You might ask, how many times is enough? I'll be direct, 500 times a day. That's the minimum. Sounds like a lot, but it's actually easy. Each sentence takes only 3 to 5 seconds. In 1 minute, you can repeat it 12 to 20 times. Divide it into 3 sessions, just 10 minutes each. Simple. You've just reprogrammed your energetic field. Let me be real with you. In the beginning, it might feel meaningless. You'll repeat it and not believe a word of it. You'll say, it, but it won't feel true, and that's completely normal. Because the old beliefs of lack, the ones that have been deeply rooted in you for decades, are still there. It's like a heavy cloud that hasn't passed yet. But if you stay consistent, if you keep repeating, if you don't give up, a new energetic field will begin to form and be nurtured until you eventually believe it as truth. Belief doesn't change overnight. It needs to be charged with energy. In the Bible, there's a powerful verse about the strength of faith, because Jesus taught that even a very small amount of belief can create enormous miracles. The exact verse goes, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Matthew 17:20, New Testament. Faith is the key that determines whether or not you believe your desire is possible for you. Every single technique in the law of attraction, from visualization, imagination, scripting 555, to quantum jumping, all of them are just tools to help build belief and teach your subconscious to trust in what you're attracting. But not everyone is good at visualizing, not everyone has deep knowledge of frequency. Honestly, I've tried them all, and I failed. It was too complicated. The mantra I just gave you is completely different from generic affirmations. It's specifically designed to help you break through the biggest block on your journey to attracting wealth, the silent resistance from your subconscious. Usually, if you're earning around $5,000 a month, but your goal is suddenly $500,000, your mind will instantly fill with a chorus of familiar voices. How is that even possible? Are you crazy? That's not realistic at all. It's never happened to me, so how could I believe it now? This is what we call internal conflict. Old beliefs about lack, unworthiness, and personal limits will immediately push back against your new goal. And when that resistance repeats itself often enough, what happens? Your new goal dies young. The new belief doesn't get the chance to grow. It gets eaten alive by the old one. That's why you can feel hyped up during a motivational event, but then a few days later, you're discouraged and right back in your old emotional patterns, because the new energy wasn't repeated enough. But with the mantra I shared earlier, the magic lies in the way it's structured to bypass the resistance response. When you say, I believe I can do it as soon as possible, that phrase gently opens the door to belief without adding pressure. It doesn't ask you to prove anything. It simply says, I choose to believe this. You begin directing your mind without triggering the nervous system. No deadline, no pressure to achieve by a certain date, no stress, just gentle belief. And because there's no mental resistance, the subconscious starts to listen. And when you repeat this mantra consistently every single day, what happens? Quantity turns into quality. While repeating it, you naturally start to imagine what you'll do once it comes true. You feel excited, like it's already close, in a totally organic way. You shift from "I don't believe" to "I might believe," from maybe to taking small actions, from small actions to real results, and from those results, belief starts to grow, like a seed that's being watered every day. And I promise you, you will achieve what you want. Why? Because I did, and because hundreds of thousands of others have used this exact affirmation and succeeded before you. I've been practicing it consistently for the past 6 years. At first, I was lazy. I only repeated it 10-20 times a day, but my mentor told me, that's not enough. You need to push it to 500, even 1,000 times a day. At the time, I felt like a crazy person saying something I didn't believe at all, but I was in deep debt and desperate to change my life. So I tried everything. And the miracle? After just 2 weeks, I started to feel something shift. I began to think, maybe I can do it. If others can do it, why not me? I'm capable too. Maybe it'll take time, but I can. So I kept repeating the same affirmation. After 3 months, I started seeing new ways to make money. After 1 year, I paid off all my debt. And now, I have a dream job that pays 6 figures every month. I live in abundance and freedom every single day. I hope you have the hunger to keep repeating and the courage to rebuild your belief from within, because once you believe, you have everything. Now you know what you want, and you've started to consciously plant that belief. Getting to this point isn't easy. Most people chase a quick burst of motivation, then give up. But you're different. You're seeking real transformation. In the next step, I'll show you 3 powerful tools to accelerate your vibration and help your seed grow faster than you ever imagined. Step 4, the 3 golden frequencies that can transform your life. For thousands of years, every person who has ever reached deep wisdom, from saints to scientists, built their teachings around 3 core frequencies: love, gratitude, and letting go. Love, the language of the 500+ frequency. In the Bible, Jesus taught all the law and the prophets hang on this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. In Buddhism, compassion is the path to enlightenment. In Islam, giving is one of the 5 sacred pillars, where Muslims dedicate 2.5% of their annual income to help the community. Love and generosity are not just emotions. Love is the most powerful frequency a human can emit. And only when you live in unconditional love can you truly align with the abundant frequency that already exists in the universe. If you want something, give that thing first. Give it to your parents, to your loved ones, or to someone who needs it urgently. If you need money, give money, even a tiny amount like $5 or $100 a month. A meal for your parents or a small gift to someone homeless. Give with love, with no expectations. If you need health, care for someone else's health. Offer them a glass of fresh juice or a nourishing meal you prepared yourself. You don't need to be a saint to love others. You just need to do the little things. A soft look, a sincere word of encouragement, an act of kindness that expects nothing in return. You don't have to be Bill Gates or Warren Buffett to make an impact. But if you live like them, giving from the heart, you are vibrating on the same frequency as they are. And when you vibrate like the wealthy, the joyful, and the creative, what comes your way? Exactly. Wealth, love, and abundant wholeness. Gratitude, the silent yet most powerful language to connect with the universe. If there is one master key that can open all doors to wealth, health, love, and inner peace, it is gratitude. But most people only feel grateful after something good happens, a gift, a kind gesture, a surprise piece of good news. They express gratitude passively, only when things are already good. But true gratitude begins at a much deeper level. It's when you choose to feel grateful even before what you desire shows up. This isn't theory. This is energy. When you give thanks as if it's already here, you're broadcasting the frequency that matches what you're asking for. Because in the energetic world, the emotion of having received is the most powerful signal to attract your desire into reality. Imagine this. When you say thank you with sincerity, your vibration instantly shifts into a space of openness, trust, and connection. And this isn't just a feeling. It's a measurable electromagnetic signal emitted from your heart and brain. Modern science has already confirmed this. Albert Einstein once said, "Every day I thank more than 100 times, because everything I have comes from the work of others." He understood no one is an island. What are you eating today? Do you have a home to live in, water to bathe in, electricity to use, internet to connect? All of these are gifts created by the hands of countless others. When you give thanks for a hot meal, for the phone in your hand, for a job, even if it's not yet your dream job, even for a hard lesson you learned from failure, you're sending a signal of receiving to the universe. And the universe always rewards those who recognize the blessings they already have. But if my life is hard right now, what do I even have to be grateful for? Then go back to step 2. Take 100% responsibility for your life and be thankful even for the hardships, because they helped you grow. They taught you to appreciate what you do have. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's a deep awareness of the good in your life. It's the ability to see wealth and beauty in the small things. Even in discomfort, even in difficulty, gratitude is a choice. You can choose to focus on the good or on what's missing. And that choice determines your frequency, and your frequency determines your life. So make a commitment with me. Starting today, try this one small habit. Every morning and night, whisper to yourself 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. A glass of cool water, a kind friend, a nourishing meal. Let your gratitude be genuine. Let it come from the heart. And finally, live in letting go to unblock the energy that's been stuck. Letting go isn't giving up, it's opening up to receive. Many people confuse letting go with giving up, but letting go is not quitting. Letting go doesn't mean you stop pursuing what you desire. Letting go means releasing old beliefs, letting go of doubt, letting go of control. You've already placed your order. You've already tuned into the right frequency. You've already planted your seeds through your emotions, thoughts, words, and actions. Now, it's not about doing more. It's about trusting completely that everything has been sent and is already on its way back to you. When you plant a seed in the soil, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, you trust, and you wait. Don't obsess over when it's coming or how it has to arrive. You don't need to force the universe to follow your plan, because the universe always has a smarter way than you think. You've done enough. Now is the time to surrender. What you desire is already moving toward you, one day at a time. Your job is simply to receive. If you've made it this far, you are someone truly special. You may not realize it yet, but you carry within you a great light that this world deeply needs. Everything I've shared with you is free, and all that's required of you is to trust and practice daily. It's time to stop pretending to be small. Stop running from the greatness that lives inside you. Stop forcing yourself to fit into a mold when your soul is craving to break all limits. You didn't come to this world to ask for permission to exist. You came like a candle lit in the darkness, to feel, to live, to love, and to experience every layer a soul can possibly touch. Don't let anyone, not even yourself, tell you that you're not enough, not smart enough, not worthy, not important. You are a unique heartbeat in the universe. No one can replace you. No one can replicate you. No one else can live the life you were born to live. Look back at how far you've come. How many times did you think you would break and still stood back up? How many wounds have you hidden but never surrendered to? How many dreams were laughed at, but your heart still held on? That is proof of the power flowing through you. You don't need to ask for another miracle. You are the miracle. And from this moment on, I want you to live like someone who remembers that. Choose to vibrate like a free soul, love like your heart has never been broken, create your life like an artist crafting a masterpiece. Because at the end of this life, it won't be about how much money you made or how famous you were. It'll be about this. Did you live true? Did you love deeply, give thanks, and melt into every breath? If this video made you feel stronger, don't hold it back. If your heart is beating a little louder, don't be surprised. You're not just watching a video, you've just awakened your soul. And if you feel this, share it. You don't have to say much, just trust that somewhere out there, someone desperately needs to hear exactly what you just heard. Thank you for having the courage to step onto this path. Thank you for choosing to love yourself again. Thank you because you are the light this world needs. I'll see you again, not in the next part, but at a higher frequency, where the worthy souls return to who they truly are. And if no one has ever said this to you before, let me be the first. I am proud of you, so deeply proud.